All right, playoff preview time. My favorite type of videos I make all year are these ones. I have a blast making them. So let's just get into it. Cowboys versus the Packers. We're going to talk about Jordan Love and the offense against the Cowboys defense in this video. If we look at the Pro Football Focus grades for specific positional categories on the Packers offense and Cowboys defense, you see coverage versus, passing and receiving wise, this is good on good. You have, ninth best passing and eighth best receiving, ninth best coverage. So doesn't get much more evenly matched than that. Although I would mention the Packers have gotten significantly better as the season has gone on. You could argue they're better than around ninth right now, whereas for Dallas, that feels about right. Again, corners have been very good, but they have shown some weaknesses to get beat over the middle. Guys like Marquise Bell and Damian Clark haven't exactly Bell's actually graded pretty well, but Clark has been on the downside, and it's been kind of some depth players that haven't graded particularly well, like Jalen Kearse hasn't been, he's actually been, he has a terrible coverage grade. He's in the 30s there. Also, Jordan Lewis, corner, who both these guys have over 650 snaps, so they're not like just, nobodies here. That's kind of brought some of the grading down, so it's more depth players than it is the top guys. One thing that helps with that, though, is, again, coverage has still been actively good, though, as a whole. The pass rush, though, for the Dallas Cowboys is, it is what it is. It's amazing. DeMarcus Lawrence has graded really well this season. Obviously, Micah Parsons, third best edge rusher in football, according to PFF. So, a lot of really good stuff that helps them. And with, the Packers pass blocking, which hasn't been bad. In fact, it's still fair to say it's been actively good. And, Zach Tom's actually had a great season at tackle for them. But if you can maybe find some other ways to, get pressure with the other tackle, that might be the way to do it, for Dallas. You also have the run blocking situation, which is definitely favoring the Cowboys. Although it is worth mentioning, if the Packers do have a healthy Aaron Jones in this situation, I do think that changes things. I don't know exactly how much, but just in general, AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones are still good backs. They can make stuff happen, but if Green Bay is going to win this game, it probably is going to be through passing. So, okay, let's get into some film. And we're going to start off with some, these two teams haven't played each other, so we got to use other games, which is sometimes fun as well. To me, one thing I noticed watching some tape, I picked the Miami game to use as the primary focus for the Dallas defense here, because they have similar schemes, Green Bay and Miami. But one thing I noticed right off the bat that something did click a little bit is like Stephon Gilmore, who's had a good year for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, that's been a nice addition, and we thought it would be a nice addition in the offseason. It really proved to be true. But there is a way you can beat him. You can beat him with speed, as we're going to see with one of the best fast guys in football, Jalen Waddle here, running a go route against Gilmore. You see that for Tua, he's going to take the snap. He is going to eventually throw the ball up in that direction, and Waddle has gotten some significant space here. Listen, Jalen Waddle runs by a lot of guys, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, oh, I guess Gilmore is trash. Like, no, this was a good route with a good player. Tua does make the throw accurately. They pick up a big chunk play, but it wasn't just that play. They were able to use their speed at times, and so, okay, who does Green Bay have that has speed? Well, there's a couple of guys you could point to. One, though, which is the constant X factor, is Christian Watson, who I don't even know if he's going to play. He hasn't been playing. He's been injured for a minute now, so I don't even know if this is even worth bringing up, but I'll still bring it up. If he is there, he can run with the best of them, and if he gets a one-on-one against Gilmore, that could be a danger. Although I would assume that for the Cowboys, just don't put him on Watson. So I don't know if that opportunity will arise, but they play zone every now and then. You could have an opportunity, maybe run some motion at the line, try and set up that shot. I could see it, just something to put a pin in. But really, though, here's how I think Dallas, is going to play most of this game, and how I think that Green Bay could potentially attack Dallas is stuff like this. Dallas, they like to play their zone coverage. It's not quite what you would saw Dan Quinn do when he was with the Atlanta Falcons, of just like cover three all day, but they still love their cover three, especially on first and second down. Third down, they tend to go to man. But, in this situation, Tua is going to take the snap. He runs a play action, and because of the play action, guys do get a bit out of position. You see that there is a window for Tua to make this throw. Again, Miami does this as good as anyone in football, right? And I would say they do this better than Green Bay, but this is still something that Green Bay likes to do. In fact, let's go over to an example of Green Bay doing exactly that to a team like Tampa Bay, who, again, they do a lot of similar stuff that the Dallas Cowboys do. And while Green Bay lost this game, their offense looked good in it. So similar situation, right? It's going to be a cover 3 zone. They have a receiver running over the middle. Well, they're actually being a bit more creative here. So because of this, they're going to try to draw the corner further towards the middle of the field. Tucker Kraft is going to then run to where the corner now hopefully isn't. That's the way this play is designed to work. Sometimes linebackers can pick this up. However, when Love takes the snap, he runs a play action, and the linebacker on this play, who isn't some scrub linebacker, it's Levante David, doesn't really pick this up and gets himself out of position, and now you have Kraft wide open at this point. So this is what Green Bay can do, and this is what Green Bay is going to attempt to do when they're going to play the Cowboys. Going over here, this is the other X factor, I would say, in how Green Bay could attack this Cowboys defense is the Jordan Love factor, who, listen, Jordan Love has not been great week in and week out throughout the course of the 18-week season. Jordan Love has been great for the past month or so, and maybe even a little bit longer than that. He's been playing incredible football, and something like this is exactly what he can do. This was a big play in the game. It's a 3rd down and 14 situation. It's, 4 minutes left in the game. The Packers are down 10. Love is going to take the snap. You see that pressure eventually comes. Nothing is really open. I mean, actually, I would say the offensive line did a pretty decent job there, but nothing is open at this point. So what are you supposed to do? Well, I don't know. Throw the ball away, kick a field goal, still make it a 1-score game, right? Well, no, watch him scramble outside the pocket. He's going to throw off balance, and I mean, that almost reminds you of the Ben Roethlisberger throw in the Super Bowl, right? I mean, that was really high degree of difficulty stuff that Love was able to pull off. So the fact that he can do that could mean that, well, there might be some plays that, Dallas has covered. Love can get them some extra time and still make certain things happen. So, all right, predictions time. So the Packers' offensive points per drive on the year is 2.18, whereas for Dallas, their defensive points per drive is 1.82. So again, usually in these types of scenarios, sometimes it makes sense to, just split the difference. It should be around just 2. Well, I actually think that there is a bit of a matchup advantage for Green Bay because they do like to run a lot of these over the middle things. So I'm giving a slight matchup advantage to them. I'm going to go 2.2 points per drive, which might seem like a massive matchup advantage I'm giving them. Some Cowboys fans might be saying, what are you talking about? That's a huge advantage. Well, keep in mind, the Packers have gotten much better as the season has progressed. So while that 2.18 points per drive is true over the course of the season, it's actually been, significantly higher than the 2.2 points per drive that I'm predicting here. So you actually are still going to be having them have a worse game than the Packers are used to offensively, I think. But there still is enough matchup advantage stuff here. I think that the Packers will have a much better day than the average team does against Dallas. So yeah, 2.2 points per drive in this game is my prediction. Will that be enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to part 2 of this video where I talk about the other side of the ball, Dak Prescott, and how he's going to attack the Packers defense. Should be an interesting stuff. The Joe Barry versus Prescott. Joe Barry versus Mike McCarthy. 2 coaches that no one's ever said a bad thing about, right? It should be a fun video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed. It'll be out, if not today, tomorrow. I'm not going to have any of these videos be out more than a day after the first part was out. But yeah, check that out. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.